Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of my Sidus Heroes journey, and today I'm going to discuss one of the most requested topics, my gameplay strategy that allows me to farm loot boxes with a 70 to 80% win rate. In this video I'm going over my 1v1 and 3v3 scenarios depending on which classes and weapons I have. For 1v1, probably the most accessible build for a new player is a full damage raptorian. I mentioned this build in my first video and it is still viable and one of the strongest characters. I define the full damage raptorian as distributing at least 8 attribute points in attack in order to get the final major breakpoint in damage. What I mean by this is that attribute points 9 and 10 in attack only increase damage by 4 points, whereas attribute point number 8 in attack increases it by 7 points. However, I still prefer going all 10 points in attack, but you can distribute the final 2 points in either vitality or agility. In this case, if I face full damage characters which you can easily identify as they have a power index lower than 550, I usually skip my first 2 turns in order to gain 7 energy and use it all in the same turn as basic attacks. When I face higher vitality characters, I usually skip my first 3 turns and spend all 10 energy points on basic attacks. I am doing this as they have sacrificed some damage for vitality and chances are they won't be able to kill me with 7 energy points. The fight is of course more favorable to the one with the higher initiative, which translates to the player who attacks first, but at the moment agility is not improving initiative ranking properly. I have tested builds with 10 points in agility and I was still attacking second. However, RNG plays a role as in every game and you can deal damage towards the lower or the higher damage spectrum depending on your luck. This means you can kill an opponent with 7 energy or you might require an additional turn. But since this applies to the enemy as well, it's all about min-maxing your chances. Arguably a more efficient build is the weapons build, but this one requires, as the name implies, owning a weapon. For this build, since I don't have to spend any points in attack, I usually go for 8 to 10 points in vitality. The reason why I consider 8 points mandatory, but the other 2 optional, is due to breakpoints, meaning that I notice vitality now only provides 20 additional hit points after the first 8 vitality points. Of course, once we get more attribute points as we level the characters, those breakpoints can be surpassed, gaining additional benefits. For the weapons build, I generally skip my first 3 turns in order to stack 10 energy points and fire the taser twice. In 98% of the cases, the enemy is not able to kill me during his first turns as I have a higher health pool. I am using the taser, which requires 5 energy and deals electricity damage, but I am also considering the railgun pistol as it applies a bleed effect on the enemy which increases your damage by 300% for the next 3 attacks. Weapons drop from golden loot boxes, so it might take some time until you can get your hands on one. With this build I skip basic attacks and just use my energy on weapon attacks. For those of you who chose OG or Voltron as a single character, until you get a weapon, your best bet is going for a more balanced build with 7 points in attack and 3 points in vitality for OG, as there is a significant breakpoint in damage at 7 attribute points. For Voltrons, I found that since their attack power is lower, the best chances are with a hybrid vitality build, going for 6 attribute points in vitality and 4 points in attack. This way, you reach a huge vitality breakpoint, the 6 attribute point one, which rewards 60 hit points. This also kept my power index mid-tier, which helped me avoid other Voltrons with max vitality, most of them also wielding weapons. When facing the same race, the enemy will have 20% resistance against your basic attacks. As a result, especially for OGs and Voltrons, you require multiple turns to kill them. For example, against the enemy OG I am dealing around 44 damage, so I needed at least 10 energy points to even have a chance. In this fight, I got lucky because I got a critical hit, but my build also helped as I had enough hit points to survive. Voltron mirror matches can turn into long battles, especially if neither of them has weapons. I was dealing on average 32 damage per energy, so I needed around 25 energy to finish the fight. My strategy is to skip the first 3 turns and gain 10 energy in order to maximize the energy gained per turn. As I said, in the current patch, if you didn't pick Raptorian or get any weapons, it is a patience game until you open enough loot boxes. In 3v3, the key is to target the same enemy, preferably the one with the least amount of initiative, because that means he acts last, and if he skips his turns, he can waste all of his attacks if you manage to kill him first. The best setup is any mix of 3 with weapons build, of course preferably more Voltrons due to their higher health pool. This means tasers and high vitality for all 3. The goal is to skip the first 3 turns and fire the taser twice with each character. If there are multiple enemies with consecutive initiative rankings, I usually go for OGs as they have the lowest overall resistances, or raptorians as they have the lowest vitality and are also vulnerable to electrical damage. If my enemy has 3 high vitality characters, I target those with weapons equipped first. If my enemy has a mix of damage and weapon builds, I usually go for the damage characters first as they have lower health pools. The second option for 3v3 is going for a team of full damage dealers, and in this case 3 Raptorians are always better, but a mixed team can work as well. The general tactic is to only skip the first turn and attack 4 times with each character, most likely getting a kill if I target the same enemy. I always target the enemy Raptorian and secondly the Ogia. Very important to note that if my initiatives are lower or if there are 2 enemies attacking before my last character, I usually don't skip the turn with him and just attack turn by turn, this way maximizing the damage dealt as he will most likely be killed first. Overall, I find 3v3 way more exciting as fights are more complex, but they are harder to queue for due to the fact that most players go for the quicker 1v1. This will most likely change when team bonuses are going to be implemented in a future update. I hope this video shed some light over my game plan and you'll find it useful. As usual, if you enjoyed this clip, make sure to hit the like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below what topic you want me to cover next. Thanks for watching.